So here is Dior, and this is day 98, and this is her first time going to a show. So I'm just letting her do a little bit of connection work on a little bit of a lunge out so she can see all the sights, and
dragon today.
Just try to get her to connect to me a little bit.
Good girl. Trot. Trot. And ho. And ho. What you think?
It's a good thing that Miss Dior doesn't have a water problem.
She is happily splashing right
Oh, she's so cute.
So as you guys can see, we had gotten a fair amount of rain, and really kudos to the organizers and all the volunteers who kind of kept this show going. The footing in these rings are really great even when we get this amount of rain, so the horses have good footing underneath it. It's sitting on top and it drains off, and Dior is really not bothered by it at all. And I was really pleased with how she felt. This is her first time going into a dressage ring. And so I kind of tried to prepare her a little bit by showing her the whiteboards in the corner, but she really didn't mind. And so like with anything with the younger, greener horses, you kind of don't try to go deep into the corners because it's a little bit harder for them. And just trying to get her kind of through on the connection. She's still working on contact and all those things, but she's giving me a really nice feeling. And again, there's a fair amount of things going on. It's windy, it's wet, the rain's splashing, and she's a pretty good girl because she's a little bit on the shorter side, right? So when she would try to put her head down to round and she's splashing, the water would hit her nose, but she was handling that pretty well. And then we went into the canter transition. It's a little bit of a run into the canter transition, but she did it well and she held the canter, and I'm just trying to stay in a little bit of a light seat for her. And again, I was really pleased at how good she was about the white boards. Didn't really mind at all, and in fact she felt like she was relaxing a little bit more too. And she's just a little bit fussy. She's getting better about relaxing and handling the bit better. That's been a process for her as well. And now into our free walk. And again, she's being pretty good about this. We're a little bit off of where I'm supposed to be at F, but I'm able then to shorten her reins. Shorten my reins, not her reins. And go into a medium walk. And then picking up our trot. And then I'd say going to the right is a little bit her stiffer way, so it's a little bit harder for her to bend through the rib cage. So that's something I've been working on. But again, she's a very forward-going mare. She very much moves off your leg. And now I'm preparing for the canter transition. That's on the circle. She did that pretty good. So again, I was really pleased. I got both leads. And I'm just trying to stay a little light in my seat. And then she came down to the trot transition. And now just finishing up here. A little quick in the trot. I need to half halt just a smidge. But then coming into our center line, which I was really proud of how straight she was. And then coming into our final halt. So a really good test by Dior. And we ended up scoring a 34.4.
Girl. That was awesome. Nice and square too, Dior.
Yeah.
She's like,
A little little behind the scenes for you guys. That's Ellen, my working student, and Megan as well. Megan was so excited she was able to put some of scallop braids in Dior today, and she still has her long mane, but Dior was showing that she was not a fan of the cold water as she prefers warm water. But they're just hosing off the sand from the arena. And you can see she's really good with people around her. And even at 98 days, she's comfortable with multiple people. So then on to our show jump. And again, we were still in the lake, and you can kind of see how like windy and it's really like misty, blowy rain that was coming. So I was just going to let her kind of pick her speed, whatever she was comfortable with. If she wanted to canter, we could canter. If she wanted to trot, we would trot. So she felt very brave, and what I really liked was how nice and straight she was being. So that was good. Like, she's starting to really figure out how to stay straight. Now this is a little combination, so this could be hard for a horse at kind of this level of greenness, but she kept it together and figured it out. And then coming to this little triple crown fence, and this was perfect for her level with the cross rails and everything and the amount of water that was there. But she was really feeling super confident and never really was bothered by the standards or, anything like that. So coming around to fence number 7, she jumped that nicely out of stride. And then got a really nice lead change to our last fence. And I was really pleased with her. She was really a little rock star.
Are you the best pony ever? We're leaving.
We said stand.
Hi, pretty lady. Gotta get our vests on for cross country. I don't know if you guys can appreciate the wind from the camera.
I'm squished in with all of my rain jackets. Okay.
All right, off we go. After a double clear crop show jump.
Yeah, she's gonna count you down from 10.
10, 9, 5. Lo count in Spanish. What about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vamos.
And there you can hear my friend Daniela Mogel. She was volunteering, and she's the jump judge, so she's driving in the ATV. And I was actually really proud of Dior because she just went straight on to that first fence, really confident. And she was also, she can be a little afraid of ATVs and kind of bicycles and stuff. And she handled that like a champ this weekend. And now coming to fence number 2, this can be a bit of a spooky fence for young horses. And right as we got to it, the wind blew and it made one of the flags creak, and she kind of went, wait, I need a second. But she was a very good girl and jumped it. And so she decided she wanted to pick up the canter, and I thought that was okay, just to let her cruise along. And heading to fence number 3. And it's fun to let them just kind of come across the country. And she jumped that nicely out of stride. I was going to let her kind of pop down to the trot, but she was in a good balance and a good rhythm and stayed really nice and straight. And same as we come to fence 4. Really good. And then you'll see me kind of go through the trees. She wasn't spooking at any of that stuff. She was really quite focused. And doesn't really mind that that's a different color coupe at all. She really has been a mare that I've had to kind of keep entertained. Like, she likes to do different things. So this is really up her alley as far as like going out and doing different stuff. And again, she jumps another one right out of stride. And we have this little mounds that we're just supposed to trot through. And of course, her being a Mustang, she handles terrain perfectly. That was really kind of fun. And I just let her do this little extended trot here. Give her a little pat. And you can see kind of how the weather is misty and rainy and blowy. Again, she jumps that jump really well. As we head over. And sorry about the camera keeps going in and out just because of the rain blops on the ATV. And then I'm gonna make a turn here. And again, she wasn't bothered at all by the wind or the rain. She didn't care. And coming to this next fence, the flag had actually gotten blown down. But there's nothing I could do about it except aim her at it. And she was so good, she didn't care, even though the flag was kind of like a little, you know, once she jumped it, there was a little blue flag. Did not care. And I opted to not go in the water because she doesn't care about going into water, and we've already gone into the water a lot during the day. So I thought, nah, we'll just keep on going. And then we're heading to the last fence, and I slowed down just a little bit just to make sure I was close to optimum time. And then we come to our last fence, and she was a little superstar. She ended up winning her little starter division, and I had so much fun. It was a blast. And a big thank you to all the volunteers and organizers.